Hello, hello. Looks like we have some folks joining us here. Can you hear me and see me? Maybe can you see my screen now? Let's see if this will work. Ah, there we go. Shift 5. Hmm, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Ooh, hi. Hi, Adam. Alrighty. Let's see, it's not letting me share my screen. Go to System Preferences, unlock the screen by selecting Lock in the bottom left corner. This is not part of the tutorial, don't worry. Part of the workshop. This is bonus content of how to share your screen in StreamYard. Alrighty, so let's go. It's just impression. Okay. Alrighty. Give me a second and then we'll get started. In the meantime, how is everyone's Global Hack Week, Beginners Week going? What's been the funnest part so far? Besides all of my tweets and Instagrams on the MLH accounts. Maybe this is your chance to get a retweet. You know what? I'm gonna have to ask Mary to help me out here because I cannot share my screen. Sorry, everyone. Do 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 do. Huh. Oh, there we go. We've got a Mary to help us out. All right, I think I have to add her. Do we have you, Mary?
Yes, I am here. Sorry.
Okay. All good. Thank you.
How's it going, everyone? Are you sharing your full screen or slides?
I was gonna share slides
Are they Google
and
slides?
my screen actually.
Okay.
I do need to share my screen, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just see if I can share mine and then we'll go from there.
Cool. I was gonna do a demo on my own laptop, so you might have to be my
I can
be
do
a
that.
beginner in deploying to the cloud with us. It'll be a good proof that my tutorial works. Hi everyone. We're just figuring out how to share
So
screens here.
it's working for me when I share a window.
When you hit present and share screen.
Yes.
So I'm getting oh, is it working now? Hold on. Yeah, I'm getting a Chrome permissions error.
Mine seems to be working when I do the Chrome tab. My only guess would be maybe you don't have permissions given in Chrome?
Yeah, that's what it is. I just can't add the permissions. It's not working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I do have Safari. Maybe Safari will be less. Let's try that. Do, 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 do. Ba-ba-da-ba.
How's everyone at home doing? Hello, Wei.
Da, 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 da. Big fan of Shrek. All right, I'm gonna leave this studio and then I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, see if Safari works.
For the meantime, y'all have me. How is everyone's Friday going? So it's sort of a carpeted wall. It's a little phone booth. So I'm in here and I'm talking out loud and I don't have headphones on and the people right outside can't hear me.
Mary, the Safari doesn't it says Safari doesn't support StreamYard.
Oh, I should have known that.
Do you want to learn how to deploy your project to the cloud?
I can learn how to deploy my project to the cloud.
Amazing. I will share my presentation with you and we're gonna do this together.
Let's do it. Make this a nice little yellow background.
And we'll fix this for the next one. Alrighty. Mary. Cool. All right.
Okie dokie. These I can pull in for both of us.
Cool. I'm probably not going to use the slides too much, so if that's right, it's going to be more tutorial. Is there going to be a swag drop?
We can do a swag drop. Fiona, do you know what a Global Hack Week swag drop is?
I don't, but this is great. What is it?
So you're gonna have the power in your hands to give a random person swag.
Wow.
So
I can actually add to that. Anybody who completes this that is also part of the Tech Together space in Discord will automatically get swag anyways. So
well, there you go.
bonus swag. Alrighty, cool. So let's go ahead and get started. This workshop is going to be about how to deploy your project to the cloud. Specifically, we're going to be focusing on how to deploy static websites to the cloud as kind of a first stepping stone to working with the cloud. So who am I? My name is Fiona. I use the pronoun she, hers, and I am the Director of Strategic Initiatives at Major League Hacking. My fun fact, I always struggled to pick one. For this slide, I decided to share that I am plant obsessed. All my plants are named. Check on them every morning, got new blooms. So if you ever want to talk plants, please, find me in the Discord. Always happy to chat with you. And this is Mary. And
hello,
Mary
everyone.
is going to be our lovely assistant and demoer for today.
Yes. Someone's asking why I'm wearing a mask. We're just wearing masks in the office, and I'm in the office right now. It's nothing serious.
Alrighty. Next slide.
Oh, sorry. I think you should be able to click to the
Oh,
next slide as well,
cool.
right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what is the cloud? So before we can learn how to deploy to the cloud, I think it's good to kind of establish a baseline understanding of what it is conceptually. So the cloud, the easiest definition I could find is the cloud refers to software and services that run on a remote server instead of locally on your computer. So the best example I like to give here is, let's say you built a website for your hackathon project and now you're creating your dev post submissions. It's 2 a.m. and you're like, wait, how do I share the website I built with the judges so that they can see what's on my laptop on their laptop? Now, in this case, we can host our we can host our website on the cloud so that judges can interact with our website and we can send them a link. Otherwise, we would just have to upload our GitHub repository and they would have to download it and maybe run it on their machine rather than have it already deployed. So there are everyday examples of, instances of when we're using the cloud outside of the example I just gave, like Google Drive, Apple iCloud, Netflix, Yahoo, Dropbox, Microsoft. Those are all examples of ways that we use the cloud in, our everyday work. And why do we use it? You can access your information on any device with an internet connection. So as I said before, if you want to look at your hackathon website and you're not necessarily on your laptop, you could do it on a friend's or Mary's or myself. So it's really a powerful tool for sharing. And, okay, now you understand it conceptually, but how do you apply it? Now, you know, uh, I learn best by, applying concepts to my projects. I am terrible at just like reading something and understanding it. So that's why I think going through the steps of actually deploying something to the cloud can help you better understand how you might use it in other projects that you want to do, or even in school when you have to write about what cloud technology is and why it's helpful. So, there are a lot of applications for cloud technology. You can host a website or web application to the cloud, and we're going to do that today together. Um, Two, you can use the cloud to access machine learning APIs, which can be really fun for hackathon projects where maybe you want to use, I see a lot of hackathon projects use this API for accessibility projects, for analyzing text, stuff like that. And then lastly, you can spin up a virtual machine on the cloud. Now, these are only 3 examples. There is like probably an infinite list of ways you can apply cloud technology, but these are kind of the most common applications I see among student developers. So let's get started and host a static website on the cloud. Now, just like a quick raise of hands so I know where we're at in skill level, how many of you have actually deployed a static website on the cloud before? And how many of you haven't? Let me know in the chat. Wei has, cool. So this will be a refresh. What about everyone else? We got 14 people. Never worked on the cloud. All right. Some others have. So again, this is going to be like a nice refresh. Maybe you'll learn something new. All right. Yeah, keep letting me know. I don't want to just talk at you. So no. Okay, cool. So maybe a mix of both. So three simple steps from beginning to end that we're going to go through over the next couple of minutes. We need to create a GitHub repository. Two, we need to create an Azure account. Now, I'm going to be using Azure here. You could use any other platform, but for the case of this, workshop, this tutorial, we're going to be using Azure. Also, if you use Azure here, and you are a part of the Tech Data Workspace in Discord, then you get to, again, win that swag that I talked about before. So it's kind of a nice perk there. And then I know swag. And then the last one is we're going to deploy and share it. So it's going to be a combination of combining the first two steps to actually make the final deployment, which actually doesn't take that long. So by the end of this workshop, you can add to your resume that you'll have learned how to host a static website on Azure. So let's go ahead to step number 1. Cool. So, ooh, okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and first navigate to GitHub, and we're gonna create an account or log in, and then we're gonna create a repository. So Mary, my lovely teammate here, is gonna go ahead and navigate to GitHub and kind of walk through the steps with everyone else. Now, I know a lot of you already said that you've done this before, so maybe you already have a GitHub account and created a repo. You can just go ahead, you can create a new repo if you want to use for the sake of this tutorial, or you can repurpose an old one. But let's go ahead for the beginners here and navigate to GitHub. And I'll ask Mary to go ahead and hit that link in the slide and log in.
And do you want this on the screen?
Yes, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. And if you're looking for the link to GitHub, it's just www.github.com, I believe, or IO. Cool. So looks like Mary's just speeding along. I'll just ask you to take like one step back, Mary, just so folks know how to get to this page.
Right, I'll stay right here.
Yep, all good. You're a pro. All right, so now that you're in the GitHub dashboard, you're gonna go ahead and navigate to the top here, the top right, and there'll be a plus sign next to your profile, and you'll go ahead and hit that plus button, and you're gonna hit new repository. Now, before we move to this step, is anybody currently creating a GitHub account and want us to pause before as they finish completing their account? I don't want to get too far ahead and leave anyone behind. I wish it was Zoom. I could see you all thumbs up. Is everyone on their GitHub dashboard and see this page? Let me know in the chat.
Okay, Adam has an account.
What about everyone else?
What about everyone else? Okay, now they're coming in. Chat's a little behind us.
That's okay. Sweet. I see thumbs up. All right, cool. Sweet. I love it. All righty. Everyone's got GitHub. Sweet. All righty. So we're going to go ahead and now we're going to catch up to where Mary was before. Under owner, you're going to go ahead and select your profile. 61 repos. Wow, that's a lot. This is going to be number 62. Now for repo name, we're going to go ahead and name it GHW for Global Hack Week. And then Mary is the best. And it'll turn into a fan account for Mary. All right, perfect.
People are going to see this and think that I'm just very self-centered.
Maybe self-confident, positive framing. All right. So then what we'll do is we'll scroll down. Now, there's a bunch of different settings here. We're not going to go into each of, what everything does. We're just going to turn on the ones that we need to deploy this repo to the cloud. So we're just going to go ahead and select add a README file. This will initialize the repo so that when we deploy it, there's actually something that will be shared. And then we're not going to add a git ignore. We're not going to add a license, and we want it to be public. So go ahead, Mary, and hit create a repository. Sweet. So now we've completed step number 1. Global Hack Week Mary is the best repository. Now, if you want to enter into the Microsoft Passport Challenge, you can save this link and screenshot this page, and you've now completed step number 1. All right. So now that we have a repository, we need to get ourselves also set up on Azure. So let's navigate back to my presentation. And if anybody has any questions on the first step, definitely drop it in the chat. All right, so now we're going to create a free account on Azure. So we're going to navigate to Azure, and we're going to hit Start Free to create an account. And I'll walk you through that process. Now, there's Azure for Students, and there's a normal Azure account. Some of you may be eligible for Azure for Students. If you are, I highly recommend you go through that process to redeem it, because you get 100 free credits. But if you aren't a student, you can still deploy for free, I believe. So it shouldn't be a problem, I think. So we'll go ahead and hit navigate to Azure. Sweet. And Mary, maybe you could drop the link in the chat just for folks who don't have access to it. Sweet. Thank you, MLH.
Of course.
Awesome. So we go ahead and we're going to hit Start Free. Awesome. And I'll have you log into my student account, Mary. So you'll go ahead. You'll get my beautiful email here. It's going to be fionaw@bu.edu. Alrighty. Now I'm going to Slack you my password. Not best practices here, but you know.
I'm going to take this off screen for 1 second.
Yep. Also, don't laugh at my password, freshman, when I made it.
This is a judgment-free zone. Okay, we have some additional security steps being asked for.
Cool. It should like verify, right?
Okay, yeah. Do you want a call or a passcode?
Give me a call.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Mary is now Fiona. Fiona is now Mary.
Yes. I'm in.
Sweet.
Oh,
How's everyone else's sign in going? Is anybody having any trouble?
I need your phone number now, Fiona.
Yeah, I'll give it to you in Slack.
Cool.
That's the trouble with tutorials like these. When you gotta create an account, it's always a process.
Okay, and then I think you're gonna get one more call. And I'm gonna need a verification number from that call.
Okay. That is the secret. Awesome. We will wait for you. Do not worry. Ring, ring. Adam's calling. He wants the code.
I'm in.
Woohoo. All right. So
Woo!
before we move forward, I know obviously that was quite the process, so I want to pause. Um, okay, yeah. So here is some, again, people don't have access to the student version, and you may need to actually just create a free account. Um, and if you create an account, that doesn't mean that you don't have to pay for anything. So don't worry about that. All right. Let me know. I want to see like at least 3 or 4 thumbs up before I move on, because this is going to be the final step. And I want y'all to see your beautiful repos deployed. If you're still working on it, let me know. Oh God, that's not good. We should connect on that. See if we can get you a student account. 1 more minute. Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, Adam, you're a student. You should absolutely have access to one.
Yeah. Even you might even be able to email the Microsoft team if you don't. Sometimes they have to work with certain universities.
We will wait for you. Everyone is in this together.
Do you feel inspired to change careers, Mary, to becoming a software engineer now?
Maybe. Maybe this was my calling all along.
Have you deployed to the cloud before?
I have deployed to the cloud before. Not to
Did
Azure
you?
though.
So first time.
This is a first time Azure user. What did they say on the radio? Like long time listener, first time caller. I'm like, I'm a long time Azure fan, first time deployer.
I like that. We should give that feedback to their team. New tagline.
Mm-hmm.
They may, you should, if you put in your payment information, you're not going to have to pay to deploy, but it's up to you what you're comfortable with. I can also just go ahead and finish showing you, and you can do it finish deploying at a separate time once you finish getting set up. All right. Who's ready for next steps? Give me some thumbs up.
Give us thumbs up.
Nobody's ready.
And that's okay.
What are some of my favorite Azure products and services? That's a good question. Um, I haven't used a lot of them, but I see a lot of them in hackathon projects. And I mentioned this before, but I think the accessibility applications of some of the Azure solutions are really cool. Because as you all know, I'm very social impact oriented. So I find those Azure solutions the most exciting.
Nice.
I would love to be able to do some of the things our hackers do with Azure products. All right, asking for school email. If I enter school's email, your email domain is not currently registered with us. Da, 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 da. Yeah, very interesting. I'm not sure. That could also be because your school, again, isn't registered on their platform. Ooh, we got one. Woohoo!
Woo.
Yes, one win. All right, for those of you that are struggling, I will hang around after and I can work with you to finish up. But otherwise, let's go ahead and continue for the sake of time. And again, this step is really easy, so you can always once you finish, it won't be too difficult for you to finish the process. So one thing I want to highlight here is if you do have a student account, as you can see on Mary's screen, there are 100 credits available, and that's because I redeemed it with my student account. If you were a student and you have now graduated, you can still access this perk, So for example, like I'm a couple years out of college and I used my school email and I still get access to these credits. So we're not going to use any of these credits for this deployment, which is even more awesome because it means you can deploy for free. But if I did want to do something more advanced, that's when I could start utilizing this discount. So we're going to go ahead and on the left-hand side of the screen, on the top left where the nav bar is, we're going to go ahead and hit new, create a resource right at the top, first option. And if you can't find this page and maybe your student sign in redirected you to another page, if you want to get back, just do portal.azure.com and that'll take you to this dashboard. So go ahead and look up static website. Thanks, Wei. Cool. All right, so we're gonna hit that first one. Oh, Adam's in. All right, yay. All right, so you're gonna go ahead and hit create. Cool. So you can see at the top that our subscription is Azure for Students. Now we need to add a resource group. Now you can name this anything you want. So we can just type in Global Hack Week, Mary is the best again for consistency.
Oh, I didn't. Do I do it under create now?
Yes, yeah.
There we go.
Sweet. And then you're also going to need to name it. I usually just use the same name that I used for my resource group. So Global Hack Week, Mary is the best. Amazing. Cool. So again, we're on that free plan and we're going to now connect to our GitHub. So we're bringing together step number 2 and step number 1 in this connection. So we're going to hit GitHub. Now it's already connected to my GitHub. So we'll just keep it connected for now to make it easy. But if Mary wanted to deploy the repo that we made for her, she would change the account to her GitHub. Once you've connected it, the sections below are going to pop up and you're going to go ahead and select the organization, which will be your GitHub name. Don't want to deploy it to any MLH repos. Then go to repo and you're going to enter in the name. Now we're going to select example 2 here, just because it already has some HTML in there, so you can actually see some writing on the website. And then the branch is going to be main. You could deploy from another branch, but most often you want to, be deploying from main, which is going to have, your most up-to-date code. And then we don't need any build presets. So we're going to go ahead and now we're going to hit review and create. Alrighty. And it's going to pop up a review page. Oh, what does it say? Not valid, tracking ID, da, 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 da. Wow, I've never gotten an error before. Okay. Literally did this hundreds of times. Okay, so we're going to go connected to my GitHub. Although it's my Azure account. Okay. Go to the previous step. Oops, sorry. Too far.
I can rush through here.
Cool. And you don't have to name Global Hack Week. Mary is the best.
Okay.
All right. Da, da, da.
Example 2, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
cool.
You want me to try again?
hmm It might be that repo. Okay, yeah. Go back to previous. And then give me 1 second. Okay, yeah. And then instead of example 2, just search test. So for the person who just posted a question, AJ, create a resource, and then when it says, when you go to create a resource, select static website. So you need to take the next step beyond creating a resource. And we can go back if you're stuck there. So now go ahead and hit review and create. Hopefully that works. Otherwise, I'm not sure. It's not looking.
Oh.
Okay. I guess this afternoon when I tested it was the my last test.
Oh no.
I'm glad everyone else's is working though. That's great.
Yeah.
That's the point. Okay, cool. So I can just show you a previous deployment then, if I guess I've hit my max. So if you go back, well, kind of for AJ, yeah, AJ, we can repeat the Azure steps for you and for Jayesh, I think it is. So we go to the nav bar on the left-hand side at the top, and then we hit create a resource, and then we do static web app, and then we select it. Were you able to follow those steps?
I like this. Fiona, you really did not have an error technically. It was on me.
All right.
Oh, perfect.
Good till there. Sweet. So then you're going to name your resource. And you can name it anything by hitting create new. Then you'll do your name. And you can name it anything, doesn't need to match. And then scroll down. The only thing you need to do here now is connect your GitHub. And then you'll select your organization, the repo that we just did, your branch, and then you'll hit review and create, and then create. And all the other fields you can skip. It's so funny, Mary. I went to log in to give you an example of when I've already deployed, but then I'd have to go through the whole login process again. And
It's very secure. Shout out to
secure.
Azure for being very secure.
Yeah. Cool. Has ever AJ and Jayesh, are you up to speed? Did that work for you? Let me know in the chat. And then while we do that, I'll go ahead and just find an example in here for you. So it might take me a second to figure out where it is, Mary, but if you go to the left-hand side of the screen, and you go to all resources, I want to say, form validation failed in basic tabs. Ask me to sign into GitHub. So yeah, you'll need to sign into GitHub again. Can you copy and paste the error for me, AJ? Cool. So yeah, here you can see all of the deployments I did for other tutorials and workshops. So once you do successfully make that deployment, it will show up with this URL, which you can see right above source. So on the left-hand side here. Now, this is the link that you can share with, when you want to share your hackathon project in Dev Post or maybe on your resume. So if you click that link, Mary, there you go. If I hadn't deployed a million websites before this is what you would have seen.
I love it.
Oh, there we go. Adam shared theirs. Let's see. Do we want to click the link?
Let's do it. Is there a way to click this though without? I think I need to type it in. Give me 1 second, folks.
That's okay. Cool. All right. How's everyone else doing?
Okay, Adam's gonna send it to me directly. Thank you, Adam.
That's better.
That is much better. You're a hero.
Any other questions now that we've completed the process?
Look at this.
Cool. And sometimes it'll take a second to deploy. So sometimes you need to hard refresh and it takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, depending on what content you deploy. Alrighty. Any questions from the group? How are we feeling? Excited, easier, harder than you expected?
It was easier than I expected.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it really surprised me as well. I wish I had all the hackathons I used to do. I wish I had taken this final step.
Yeah.
I wish it was so the concept of the cloud was so scary to me.
Yes, I completely agree. I didn't do anything in the cloud until I think my senior year of college, and yeah, this was super easy. I should have done it earlier.
Sweet. And we have another deployment in progress. So, woohoo!
Woo!
Awesome. Sweet. Any other final questions as you all kind of wrap up? And also if you want to revisit any of the stuff that we covered today, I have video tutorials of everything we just covered in a probably shorter format that you can pause and replay in the Microsoft Passport Challenge channel and the Tech Together Discord space. So I have video recordings and links that you can follow along. And then once you complete the steps, which you already did, you can go ahead and also go to that channel to earn some swag.
Ooh.
There's no step after deployment. You're all set. So you can go ahead and use that link and share it with your team to showcase, hey, look, I learned how to deploy on the cloud, and maybe teach them how to do it too. Question for Fiona. Have I met Blahaj yet? Of course. Of course I have. I love the Blahaj. My favorite Blahaj to use in the MLH Slack is the shark with the heart.
Oh, that one's so cute.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, if nobody has any more questions, I think we'll wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me for this workshop. Thank you to Mary for helping out. Oh, yay, we got another one.
Ooh.
Woohoo, 3 deployments. Awesome.
Incredible.
Alrighty. Mary, is there anything else we need to do?
That is everything. Yeah, that's really everything. Flood the chat with thank yous for Fiona. Because Fiona, this is your first Global Hack Week stream, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, well, flood the chat with thank yous for Fiona, and we'll bring her out for another Global Hack Week stream, I'm sure.
Sounds good. All right, thanks everyone.
AJ,
bye.
Okay,
oh,
bye
yay.
everyone.